Let's turn this into this. This was sent to me covered in stains, so I had to get all the stains out first. Then I bought this sewing pattern on Etsy. I printed it and taped all my pieces, and I realized my jersey is smaller than the pattern. I cut the sleeves off knowing I was going to have to add fabric to the sides. I chose to add black to the front sides and the back sides. Then I decided to seam rip some little logos, the name, some numbers, so that when I cut the pattern, I didn't cut through anything important. I placed the pattern a little bit high because I wanted to keep that signature. And these are what my pieces look like right now. I put the name back on a little bit lower. I realized that now it wasn't going to say eagles anywhere on it, so I cut this eagle out from the sleeve and I played around with the placement. I appliqued it back on the bottom left. Then I placed my pieces onto quilt batting. I used tape to mark where I was going to put my quilt lines. I sewed all my lines and then I repeated those steps and quilted the lining of the vest. Then I sewed it together at the shoulders. Then I put the numbers back on the shoulders because the stitching left really bad marks. I just used a zigzag stitch. I wanted it to be extra poofy, so I added fiber fill. Then I sewed the sides and I repeated these steps for the lining too. Then I just added the collars. I placed the vest on the lining vest and I sewed around the edges. I turned it right side out. Then I sewed the sleeve holes all the way around. Then I threw the zipper in. I dropped everything to sew this jersey because I was at Brian Westbrook's induction into the Eagles Hall of Fame. I couldn't believe all these years later someone was asking me to sew a signed jersey. Go Birds!